Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today we're going to be making some cards with the Dino Days stamp set. So it's a really cute little dinosaur stamp set and the matching dies. So the dies have some of the outlines for the dinosaurs. And we've got a little egg. I had an accident with mine, it doesn't come like this. Just got stuck to the bottom of my plates. And I didn't realise, and I ran it through my die cut machine on the bottom of my plate, so it's gone a bit wonky, but it still works, so it's all good. And then you've got this bit to cut this out. You've got these bits cut into your card, so they make patterns in your card. And then these bits are for some of the spiny bits on the back of the dinosaurs' backs. So let's get started. So I'm going to start off by stamping out some of the dinosaurs. So I've got a whole heap of different colours here, so you could use these ones or just whatever you've got. So I think I want some nice bold colours for these, and they're quite big stamps, so I'm going to use my Stamparatus to stamp them. So I've already got some Daffodil Delight on here because I'd originally put it on my stamping block, and then I decided that actually I wanted to use my Stamparatus to get a better impression. So I'm just going to stamp again on top of that with the Daffodil Delight. So I want to build up a nice bold colour. I think I might stamp that one more time. I've got a nice bold colour now, and then I'm just going to add these to its back. I think I'm going to use my stamping block for that. So let's go Calypso Coral because I think that will look nice on the Daffodil Delight. And then I just want to bring his eye out a little bit, so I'm just going to use my black Stampin' Right marker just to add a little bit to his eye, just to bring him to life a little bit. And then because I'm going to be using all of these frequently through the thing, I'm just actually going to turn this over. I'll leave that on there because then I can use it again in a minute. And which one should I do next? Maybe I'll do this flying one next. So I think I might go with Flirty Flamingo. And these are new stamps as well, which is another reason why I want to use this to give a good impression, because with photopolymer stamps quite often the first time you stamp with them they take a bit of kind of like warming up as such, so you don't get the best impression the first time. There we go, I'm happy with that now. And you can see that the stamp's actually pixelated, so it kind of creates these nice like patterns on the wings and stuff, so it's not just complete block colour. And again, I'm just going to use my Stampin' Right marker to go in for his eye. Just think it adds like a little bit of cuteness. And then I'm going to take this one off. Because you get two plates with your Stamparatus, so you can swap them in and out, so then I can just leave the stamps on and keep on swapping them in and out when I need them. So I'm going to use light blue for this one, so I'm going to use the Seaside Spray. And maybe I'll add this on his belly maybe. So I'll add this in my Bermuda Bay. And then these are the spikes that go with this one as well. I'm sure there's a much more technical term than that, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. So we'll go with spikes for now. So I'm going to do those in Bermuda Bay as well. And let's just pop in his eyes too. Let's do this one as the final one. And I'm just doing this on the other side of this plate, and then I don't have to keep on switching them around all the time. I think this time I'm going to do Blushing Bride. And I think I'll do one more lot on that because I want it to be just a little bit bolder. And then I think I might do this one with the yellow accents. So I've actually gone a shade darker. I'm going to do Bumblebee, which is a little bit darker than the Daffodil Delight that we used there. So I'm going to use Bumblebee for its spikes. And actually, because we used 3 layers of colour on that one, there's not actually that much between them. But yeah, I think I might use these next. And then I'm just going to add his little eye in again. So those are really cute. I'm going to go and die cut those out. So then here are our cute little dinosaurs all cut out. So you'll see when you cut out the spines, they come with this white bit so that you can just glue them onto the back of the dinosaurs. So when you're lining up the die, you want to line up this side, and this side will be further away from the stamping. So I'll just pop a little bit of glue onto there. And then we've got this one. Let's just pop a bit of glue onto there as well. So how cute are they now? So then I've got a 5 by 5 inch pool party card blank, and I've got this piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock which measures 4 3/4 inches square, and I've just used some of these layering squares dies. You can see you get the scalloped ones and you get the straight sided ones in a pack. I've just used some of these ones to cut out some apertures on here, and I'm just going to pop my dinosaurs into the apertures. So this one's going to go up here, and I want his little head to stick out the top there. But then I just want to cut off this bit of his tail because I don't want that to show in this one. So I'm just going to chop his tail off. So then I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue behind his neck, and also just behind the bottom of here. So I don't want his head to go too much over the top because I want it to stay within the card so it fits in the envelope nicely. And then I'm going to pop this one in here. So I think that he can go like that. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue just here and then underneath here. And then this one can go in here, and he pretty much fits inside the square, so I'm going to pop him on after. And then this one I'm just going to pop through like that. So I'm just going to cut off the end of his tail as well. Pop a bit on his neck. I'll pop a bit on there as well. So like I said, I'll pop him on afterwards. Then I'm just going to put some dimensionals around here. And let's cut up some of the outside bit as well. And then I'm going to cut some thinner strips from up here. And I'm going to put some dimensionals behind him and add him on. And there are quite a few different sentiments in here, but I just want a little sentiment just to go in here. So I'm going to use this small happy birthday, which is from this Itty Gritty Greetings set. It's actually a 2-part stamp set. So I'm just going to take a scrap of pool party cardstock. I'm going to use my Bermuda Bay ink. And I'm just going to cut that down there. Now, I tend to cut them too big before I decide what I want to do with them, because I just want to have a look at where that will place it. And then I'm just going to cut a little flag in there, I think. And I'm just going to pop some of these little bits of dimensionals on the back of here. So then that's our first card finished. So then for our second card, I've got a Bermuda Bay A6 card blank. So that's 8 1/4 by 5 7/8 scored and folded in half. And then I've got this piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock, and I've used the largest one of these scalloped Stitch So Sweetly dies to cut it out. So you get these scalloped ones and these shapes in the same die set. So then I'm going to use this leaf, and I'm just going to print that all over my card just to create a little tone on tone background. I'm purposely not doing too much in the middle because the yellow piece is going to cover that up. Yeah, I'm happy with how that looks, so we'll leave that at that. Now I'm going to use Blushing Bride for this one. I'm going to use this big dinosaur. So I've just put in the little eye with the black Stampin' Up marker again. I think maybe I'll tie the Bermuda Bay in just by popping some Bermuda Bay spots on his back. Then I'm going to take the sentiment from this one from this Oval Occasions set, and if you watch this regularly then you'll know I use this a lot. It's a really useful size, I think. So I'm just going to use my Bermuda Bay ink, and I'm just going to stamp it directly onto the yellow. So I've popped my dinosaur in place just so I know where to put it. And I'm just going to pop it there. And I haven't got quite the impression I want, and it's a really difficult one to go over in the exact same place. So I'm actually just going to get my Bermuda Bay marker, and I'm just going to go over some of these lines just to try and make it look like a stronger stamp. So I don't want to die cut it again. So this is the really good thing, because everything matches in the Stampin' Up range. You've got Bermuda Bay ink, paper, ink cardstock, you've got it in the design series paper, all that kind of thing. Then actually things like this become a doddle, because you can see that looks much stronger now. So I'm just going to put this together. I think I want plenty of dimension on this one. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of here and on the back of the dinosaur. So there's our second card completed. So then for our third card, I want to use these colours. So I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm still going to just stamp the main dinosaurs in block colours. So I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight for this one. So I'd love to know what dinosaurs you think these are. In my head this one's a Diplodocus, but I'm really not very good at dinosaurs. I haven't done them since I was a kid, and I've not looked it up, so I'd love your input. And then the other dinosaur that I'm going to do is this dinosaur here. You might not be able to see that. It's this dinosaur here, and I'm going to do that in Bermuda Bay. I think I might want a slightly stronger colour than that, so I'm going to do it once more. And then I want to bring in some gilding flakes just to tie back with this gold. So I'm going to get my Versamark ink. I'm just going to run over this image with this. And I'm just going to pop this in Versamark ink on his back. And then I'm also going to take the spines for that one, and I'm going to pop this on here. And then I'm going to pour some heat and stick powder over. So if you've not used heat and stick powder before, it's like embossing powder, but it turns into a glue when you heat it up rather than like embossing powder kind of sets into a colour, doesn't it? So then I'm going to grab my heat tool. Now I'm just going to turn that on. Then I'm going to scrub some of my gilding flakes. I'm just going to pop that on there. So I'm just rubbing it with my finger initially, so that it sticks on. And all these spare bits can just go back in the pot. And then I'm going to take, this is just a quarter of one of our stamping sponges. You can see I've used it for all sorts. And I'm just going to rub that over both of those sections. And that just takes off some of those bits that we don't want and cleans up the image. And then you'll see we've got this gorgeous gold on here. So I'm just going to go and die cut those out. So you can see they look really cute now. I'm just going to glue this onto the back of there. It's funny the things that inspire you, because I'd never have thought of putting gold on the dinosaurs, but then when I was putting out papers this morning, I loved this colour combo. I just wanted to take the gold into the actual image, and I just thought that looks really cute. So then once again, I'm just going to use my Stampin' Up marker just to add the eyes in. I think it really brings them to life. Now I'm just going to arrange them on my card a sec. And I wanted to use this "Thanks for being a Friendosaurus" greeting for this one. So I'm just going to pop that in this corner. And I think I'm going to use the gilding flakes for that as well. So I just wanted to place all those so that I knew where I wanted to put it. And it looks a real mess first, but then you just have to rub it down and rub over it with your sponge, and then it will slowly come to life. So I'm just rubbing it over with my sponge, and that'll just get rid of any extra bits that I don't need. So I think that actually I'm going to have another go on the other side with my gold embossing powder and see how that looks, and then I can decide which I like better. So I don't mind that with the gilding flakes, and I will use it if this one doesn't look as good. But I just want to see if actually the gold looks better. See, that's the one with the gold embossing powder. That's the one with the gilding flakes. I just think this one stands off the page a little bit better, so I'm going to use that one instead. So let's glue all the pieces together. So I'm going to glue this one onto here. And then I'm going to glue this one on, and I'm going to pop the other dinosaur up on dimensionals. So I'm just going to pop that up on there. And I think I'm just going to glue that onto the card face. So then for our next card, I want to make a new baby card. So I've cut two of these out, with the ties. I'm just going to, I've already done this dinosaur because I thought you don't need to see me do them for everyone. So I've done him in So Saffron ink with the gilding flakes that we used on the last card. And I'm just going to glue him behind there. And then I want to use this Look Who's Hatched sentiment. And I'm going to put that onto the grey cardstock. And this is actually the same size as the last card. So we've got a 5x5 inch card blank that is in Pool Party. Then we've got a 4x4 inch piece of gold foil sheet, and then I've got a 3 3/4 inch piece of smoky slate cardstock, and these are Pool Party to go with the background. I'm just going to run that over that corner, and then I'm just going to stamp this in my Versamark ink. Now I'm going to use my gold embossing powder. Just heat that up. And I just want to group these on here. So I'm going to put those on like that. And then I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back of here. And I can glue that onto my gold piece. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals on the back of here to pop that up. So I thought I'd make a DL card for my final card. So this is a mint macaron DL card, and it measures 8 1/4 inches by 7 3/4 inches, scored and folded in half. And I've got lots of these pink pieces to go on top. So these are Flirty Flamingo, and these are basic white, and these basic white are cut out using the stitched rectangle dies. So these are these layering dies here, and I believe I used the second smallest one of this set, but it's the one that's just big enough to pop these dinosaurs on. So I've stamped the dinosaurs. I've done one in Flirty Flamingo, one in Blushing Bride, and one in Petal Pink. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to glue all the white pieces onto the Flirty Flamingo pieces. And the Flirty Flamingo pieces are about 1/4 inch bigger than my Whisper White pieces. To use this Happy Birthday from the Pretty Perennial stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it in Flirty Flamingo. So then I'm just going to cut these out. So my video just cut out on the end of making this card. You can see I just stuck these panels on, and then stuck this on and popped this up with some dimensionals. So there are all of our projects from today. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, I'd be really grateful if you press like below, and you can also subscribe to my channel to see future videos. If you press the notifications button and select all, then YouTube will also notify you when I've got a new video online. All the products that we've used for today's projects are linked in the description below, and there'll also be a host code there. If you pop the host code into your basket before you check out, then I'll send you a free gift after the end of the month. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.